Shalom, friends. We are certainly in a very difficult time with so much loss of life, so much suffering going on. It's a time for us to seek ways of finding comfort and support, a time for us to learn how to live in this state of unknowing, a state of vulnerability, and a time of letting ourselves listen to our deep yearnings of our hearts for goodness, for peace, for health, for well-being, for connection with one another and with the source of life. It's my hope that this simple offering of music will be a resource for you to find some comfort, find some hope, feel supported, and feel loved. For those are the feelings that are in my heart to offer to you. We're so fortunate to have words from our tradition that can guide our emotions and our hearts. All of this world is a very narrow bridge, and the essence is not to make ourselves afraid. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. All of this world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. All of this world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. And the essence is not to fear, not to fear at all. And the essence is not to fear at all. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar העולם כולו יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד. העולם כולו יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד. והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. And the essence is not to fear, not to fear, no. And the essence is not to fear at all. כל העולם כולו יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד. כל העולם כולו יש צר מאוד, יש צר מאוד. All of this world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. All of this world is a very narrow bridge, a very narrow bridge. It's so natural to feel vulnerable now. How can we say the essence is not to fear, when all of us, to some degree, are feeling a deep vulnerability now, or afraid for those who are working in the front lines of the medical world, who at this point still don't have proper protective equipment? How can we not be afraid for them? And for all of the first responders, how can we not be afraid for them? But there are things we can do to calm our fears. We can do sacred acts, simple acts that are sacred. The simple act of washing our hands is a sacred act because it's an act for saving lives. Social distancing, being careful, staying at home, these are sacred acts. We do those for the sake of saving lives. Calling friends, staying connected with our families through the many means that we have to do that, even though we can't hug and hold and be close to those friends and family who are not in our own homes. Those are sacred acts of reaching out, reminding ourselves of our interdependence and our love. Prayer. This is a powerful way of calming our souls, of finding comfort and support, the outpouring of our hearts to the mystery that has given us life. These are all acts of empowerment. And through these actions of doing, of thinking, of cultivating our hearts and our minds, to feel that there are things we can do now. These are great comforts to us and allay any fears that could come to overwhelm. But to feel that we have power by our choices, it's a great gift that we have. I mentioned prayer, and we are blessed in our ancient tradition to have words of prayer that have been used to call upon the healing energies of creation. And this is certainly a good time to offer those prayers. Ana Elna Rifanallah. Those few words, please God, please heal her, were uttered by Moses when his sister Miriam was stricken with illness. Along with those prayers, the prayer that Moses called out to heaven, let's use those words to pray for the well-being of all of those who are suffering at this time with illness. And let us feel the goodness of prayer. It's something we can do. This melody was written by Rabbi Hirschfield, Olav Shalom. The introduction and the melody and the words from Moses. From deep within the home of my soul, now let the healing begin. Ana Elna Rifanallah. Ana Elna Rifanallah. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Shekhinah, Ana Elna Rifanallah. Ana Elna Rifanallah. Ana Elna Rifanallah. Ana Another lovely prayer that we have, a prayer for healing, is found in our tradition. And if you know this melody, please join with me, as with all of these melodies and prayers. Rifa'einu Adonai v'nei rafei Hoshi'einu v'nivashea ki tehilateinu ata ki tehilateinu ata. Heal us, O God, and we shall be healed. Save us, and we shall be saved. For thou, O God, are our praise. Ki tehilateinu ata. Rifa'einu Adonai v'nei rafei Hoshi'einu v'nivashea ki tehilateinu ata ki tehilateinu ata. Heal us, O God, and we shall be healed. Save us, and we shall be saved. For thou, O God, are our praise. Ki tehilateinu ata. For thou, O God, are our praise. Ki tehilateinu ata. This time, hopefully, is awakening us to the preciousness of life. We feel how fragile life is, more than perhaps we've felt in our own lifetimes. And this is a good thing. As we experience ourselves loving life, awakening to its sacred beauty, perhaps we're growing and transforming inside. And that eventually will find its expression in this world. God willing, we'll have a more sensitive world than we had before the onset of this terrible catastrophe. Perhaps we'll care for one another on a global level much more with much more of a sense of justice, of conscientiousness, of realization of human need and human power to respond to need. So these words from Tehillim have been a great comfort to me and a great encouragement to me to awaken to the preciousness of each day. So if you know this melody and this song, please, even though we can't hear each other, we can still harmonize with each other and we can still sing along with each other and listen deeply for our own and for each other's voice. Limnod yameinu, limnod yameinu, limnod yameinu, kein hoda benavi levav chochma, limnod yameinu, kein hoda benavi levav chochma. Teach us to treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Oh, teach us to treasure each day, that we may open our hearts to your wisdom. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Benavi levav chochma, levav chochma, benavi levav chochma. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. Treasure each day. Teach us to treasure each day. My mother of blessed memory, when she was coming near the end of her days, and she knew that, was very aware of her age and her weariness. When I would ask her how she was doing, she would always say to me, "It's all in God's hands." She was ready to go on her journey, if that was God's will. And she was prepared to continue to endure the sufferings of her age, if that was God's will. It was all in God's hands, as she would say. We find those words ensconced in our prayer, our beloved prayer, Adon Olam. The last two lines of Adon Olam are Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira. Into your hand I place my spirit and my body's care. Adonai li velo ira, for you are with me, I will not fear. So again, if you're familiar with this melody, please join and sing along and take to heart those words, Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira. Ve'im ruchi gaviyati, and with my spirit, my body's care. Adonai li velo ira. God is with me, I will not be afraid. Cultivate a sense of what we call bitachon, of security in our being held in the hand of God, no matter what comes our way, to feel close. Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira, im ruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira. Into your hand I place my spirit, when I lie down and when I awaken. With my spirit, my body's care. You are with me, I will not fear. Into your hand I place my spirit, when I lie down and when I awaken. With my spirit, my body's care. You are with me, I will not fear. Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira, im ruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira. Into your hand I place my spirit, when I lie down and when I awaken. With my spirit, my body's care. You are with me, I will not fear. Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira, im ruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira. La da dee da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 ya la da, la da da di da da da. Biado afkid ruchi ve'eti shan ve'a'ira, im ruchi gaviyati, Adonai li velo ira. As we venture through this new time that we find ourselves living in, I'm reminded of words that we sing each time we conclude a book of the Torah. We say, Chazak, Chazak, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and strengthen each other. These words are so fitting for this time as we are transitioning from a paradigm into a new paradigm that we are only beginning. And these words are so fitting for us as a guide to our consciousness. Be strong, and strengthen each other. This melody was written by Rabbi Chana Tiferet Siegel. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Be strong, and strengthen each other. 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 Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek, v'nitchazek. Be strong, strengthen each other. I want to bless you, each and every one, to find a deep sense of security within your own heart, a sense of peacefulness. Many actions that give you a sense of empowerment and a deep sense of living our lives in God's hands as we are strong and we seek always to strengthen each other. Shalom uvracha.